Hey everyone, it's me, Miss Gabby, and welcome to Cap at Home and Gold Detroit. I'm super excited to be with you this afternoon because we're kind of moving along with my awesome adventures of egg cartons and what we can make out of egg cartons. So I am have an abundance of like the paper egg cartons, but the styrofoam will work for this one too. But today we are making flower egg carton garlands. So great little decoration that you can make as long as you want, different colors, different kinds of flowers. But this is mine hanging up right here. And it's really pretty. You can make them all different kinds of colors and kind of overlap them, and you can see by adding. So I just have it hung up right behind me. But yeah, so I'm gonna make it a little longer today with what we're doing. But yeah, just like a huge shout out to the College for Creative Studies and the Community Education of Detroit and General Motors. Without all of them, you know, what we do is would not be possible. You know, we come every week, pretty much 4 days a week, and we give free art tutorials, and our archive is totally free, accessible on so many platforms: YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find everything everywhere. So let's hop right into what we're doing today, and let me show you what we're going to be needing supply-wise. So let's turn this around. So here we are on my trusty kitchen table. And I have so many awesome things already on here, but you can see, let me make sure this is sturdy enough, but you can see right away I have, you know, something that we're working on top of, and because we are going to be painting today, it's just going to be helpful and easier for some cleanup. So, you know, like first off, we need some egg cartons. Styrofoam can work too. This is nice because it's easy. It's easily to cut, you know, rip or anything like that, and to manipulate. Next, we need some trusty scissors. I have some here, so if you have an adult or someone to help you cut these, this will be great, but that's why this is awesome that these egg cartons are rippable. I do have some paper towel right here. You'll need some paint and a paintbrush, and since I'm kind of going with a warm color scheme, I'm going to keep it that way too. So I just have a little bit of paint right here on the side, and also my water cup with some water in it, and I have my paper towel. I do have a hot glue gun with me on the side, just to make things go a little faster and easier, but if you want one, you know, to use one too, I highly recommend. And you'll definitely need some string to go along with it as well, because that's how we're going to hang our garland. So let's just jump right into it. So you want to take this, and if you have your scissors, you can go ahead and cut them. But I'm just going to go ahead and start ripping them. That's what's really fun, is that, you know, with like these paper egg cartons, you can kind of, you know, really have a good time like playing around with it. And it's nice because you're really hands-on with your egg and your project, and kind of ripping apart these, you know. So, you know, you can use all of these. I already have so many extra ones on the side here that I'm going to show you too, that I've created, you know, to really help with us. But, you know, if you accidentally rip one all the way, that is totally okay, because you can, you know, kind of create different kinds of flowers. So I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to just keep ripping them. It's really awesome that these are ripping so easily, and that's really fun. That's what I like about it. So I'll show you a few different styles and different ways we can cut these. So, you know, I want to trim all this up. I'm going to put these to the side, put my paintbrush off to the side over here. But since, you know, I usually like how my flowers have 4 petals, so I'm just going to trim this because this one's missing one. You can always add another, but I like to kind of create, like, this is, you know, could be like a little poppy or something similar like that, but like something just like on the loose, but just like an egg cup like that. I like to keep some of my scraps, like these I like to use for leaves. So these we can like trim up and use as a leaf or something. But here, like this has 4, so I'm going to just trim these up a little nicer so we don't have that many fringes or anything. So I'm just going around and just trimming off like a lot of the frills and the excess of the, you know, cardboard that, you know, that's not really necessarily like really kind of helping our flowers. So you see I kind of trimmed that up really nice, and I'm just taking my little scraps and brushing them off to the side, because I'm just going to toss those right away. So like that. You know, and you can do like the same thing here, or what you can do here is, you know, cut all the way down into your little egg carton, not all the way through because we don't want it to fall apart, but you see I'm just kind of snipping a little bit, almost to the edge, but not all the way, and kind of, you know, separating them a little bit more as well. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to just shape my leaves a little bit more, kind of taking away a lot of this excess and really kind of shaping them to be a little bit more. See that one kind of cut a little bit too much, oops. And that's okay. But that's, you know, you can make your flowers your own, and that's something that is really, really fun, and you can definitely take your time. It's definitely a process, you know, for this project, especially because we're going to be painting. But here, like, I'm going to show you how we can layer. So I'm going to do the same thing like I did on the last flower. I'm just kind of cut it almost to the end there, but not all the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim this down a little bit more. You know, so they're a little smaller because I'm going to make this, you know, a layer. So I'm going to just trim. And sometimes, you know, it's okay that your egg carton will kind of run away. And I'm just trimming away. I'm making sure to keep all the excess scraps. If they're big enough, you know, you can use as like a leaf or something, you know, definitely keep them and you'll shape them out. But here, like, you know, I can kind of create this fun layer effect here. But so there we have our different ones so far. In this one, I'm gonna just create a nice like circle, like oval petal shape. So nothing pointy, and just creating it this way. And I'm gonna just snip this one down too. Create that fun oval shape. Kind of create a little bit more. And excess. So just snipping away the excess and really shaping the flower. So it's nice because, you know, these cups are already easily, they're like already like easily made for you to be kind of like this flower shape, and it's just all about your eye and your like kind of trimming and cutting and your idea of doing it. So there we go. So next, before we move on to the next step, I'm just gonna clean this up a little. I'm gonna put that off the side. So that's why I like really working on a surface, because I can just take that and right to the garbage. But I'm gonna keep, you know, some of these to be our awesome leaves. So I'm gonna just brush that off into the garbage. And now we're gonna come back here. And so next, what I really would like to do is just take and poke a hole like through the middle, because that's how we're gonna attach it to our string. So I wanna do that before I paint, because I can always get back to it. But let's see, I might attach these together now. So I'm gonna actually attach these now before I paint, just because it might be easier. So I'm gonna use my hot glue and just poke that in there, attach them. Maybe I should have done it this way a little bit. There we go. Perfect. So I'm just adhering some pressure to where I just glued it. Okay. So now that we have some holes in our flowers, because this is where we're going to be tying them through, you want to be definitely careful with poking your holes. You can use a pencil or maybe like the end of your paintbrush to help kind of make these holes too. But you see, like, I'm just poking them through. That was a little faster. So yeah, so now we can start to paint. So I'm gonna just, you know, you definitely will probably need more paint than I have here. But this is just, you know, to help show you like what we're gonna be doing. And I did these in steps where I'll paint the inside first and then let it dry and then paint the outside. So I'm just, you know, there's no like real technique here unless, you know, you want to make the flowers a little bit more realistic by kind of mixing some colors, you know, mixing your yellow with some white or your orange with white, or if you're doing a different color scheme, if you're making pink flowers, red flowers, or rainbow flowers, you know, that's up to you, but I'm just, I'm using quite a smaller brush too, just because I want it to fit inside, but, so yeah. So you can do that, and you can let that dry, like maybe flip it over and paint the other side if you'd like, if it's that way, because that one's simple, but this one would be a little difficult to try, you know, and do that with, but yeah, I really like my color scheme, my warm color scheme, but I'm just gonna, you know, you can use your water cup and wash, but I like that the colors are kind of mixing a little bit to create a more yellowish orange color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start that. You know, if you want to paint both of your layers of your flower first, you can definitely do that too. So you can go ahead and start painting, you know, and be careful to get paint anywhere. You know, that's why you have your paper towel if you get on your fingers. You know, and you know, less is more. You know, and you can always kind of squeeze out some more paint later if you really need be. If you're actually needing that. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit of yellow with my orange to create like a fun color. So yeah, you can just keep going with that, then let it dry, and then we can like paint the back sides, you know, or if, you know, like I said, you can just put it down and start painting the back side. So, you know, here I definitely want to be coloring both sides because our garland, you can see all the sides of your flower. So anyway, but yeah, so we can definitely go ahead and paint all of that and move on. And if you have green, you can paint your leaves green. So here are some of my extra egg carton pieces that I kind of created and made, you know, fun colored leaves, and I made them different hues and shades. So all my extra stuff I'm going to just put off to the side here. And next I'm going to bring my next step. So here we have some of my painted finished cups. You see, like this one I painted both sides, this one as well, you know, all these, and they obviously dried and are a lot harder and not as like, you know, flexible anymore after painting with some of the acrylic paint. But here, you know, I have like all these, and even if you want to try and stack these, it's a little difficult just because the paint makes it so much harder. So I'm gonna pull my garland here that I already have. So I already have my, you know, my little egg carton flower here, and I have it here. So what I was doing is I'm taking my flower here on this like twine or string, whatever you have it, and I'm just going ahead and poking my my string through here. So if you have, you know, like your paintbrush, like that's what I should be using, is to help poke it, or if you have a pencil or something, it helps it a lot to kind of control and grab, you know, your twine through that way. So I'm going to just take it, right, and you know, depending on the spacing of how many flowers you want on your garland, you know, this is what I'm doing here is I'm going to take my string and then tie a knot. So it's not going to fall into one another or the other garland. It will just, you know, kind of live in this space of, this garland. So you can see that this orange one doesn't want to go much farther, and neither does now the white one. So that's what's amazing about this garland, and you know, everything that we're kind of having fun creating is that it's, you know, you can add as many as you like and make it as long as you like, especially if you're creating an abundance of these, you know, these flowers out of the egg carton. So I'm going to take my next red one, I'm going to poke it through and pull my string, depending on the spacing and how I want it. I'm going to take that and tie a knot there. Very simple, just one knot. It's nothing crazy, but I'm just gonna pull that here. So if you have, you know, your leaves and stuff, that's what I have here. Like I can just put a little bit of hot glue, and I'm gonna just put it on the bottom, you know, of my flower here, which is super cute. And you know, like this one can have one too, but just making sure I'm holding it so it's gonna stay glued together. But this one here. So yeah, you can, you know, keep going and as long as you want, and that's you know, with how many egg cartons you have and how many flowers you're going to make, especially colors, or if you want to bunch them a little closer together. That's, you know, up to you and how you envision your garland, and, you know, but if you end up making it too short, you can always add to it, which is really fun. And it could be never ending, especially if you wanted to go around an entire room, or like a door opening or something. So yeah, so here's just like the entire garland. Voila. So yeah, it looks pretty great. So it can hang, it can just like sit free fall. It's a nice little decoration piece. So there you have it. There is my entire garland. Let me just hang it up again. And yeah, so now is like the really great time for cleaning up. Especially if you have like paint or anything, you know, since we used a bunch of paint and stuff like that, you know, you need to be careful, but also cleaning up is like really important. So we can definitely clean up all the things. And here we have it. So I hung it back up, our cute little flower garland. And here are the ones I just made and added today. So yeah, now I'm just gonna wash my brush and clean everything, and you know, save my other egg cartons I didn't use, or maybe make an extra garland, you know, to hang around. But you know, definitely leave and you know, create everything just like it was beforehand. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And if you followed along or create a flower garland, please leave it in the comments or send us an email. Thanks. Have a great day.